So Diddy's trying to baby-oil his way out of this situation by blaming his mental capacity. Meaning he doesn't understand the situation, what exactly happened. They might have said no, I'm not sure. But since I lack mental capacity, I thought she said yes. That's why I pressed enter. Now, if you didn't know, Diddy's trial is starting next week. And a couple of days ago, the federal prosecutors, they offered Diddy a plea deal. Hey, look, we have all the evidence. You're going down no matter what. Let's save everyone money and time. We know what you did. There's around like 5,000 people. I honestly lost count on how many people are coming forward about Diddy after he got caught. Literally since last we talked about Diddy, every week or so there's a new alleged shit coming towards them. The rap shit is just way too long. Now I'm saying allegedly for legal reasons, but everyone knows. It's like me saying that I put this here for decor. It's like saying my cats don't love me. Obviously they love me. Everyone knows. The situation is so bad that 2 months ago, after Diddy's lawyer left the legal team, Anthony guy. The lawyer's name was Anthony Rico, the guy who left Diddy's legal team. And in 1998, he represented Osama bin Laden. Now, it wasn't until 2001 until Osama went viral, but in 1998, he was charged with bombing a U.S. embassy in Kenya and Tanzania. Now, that's a pretty evil thing to, defend. He chose to stay and defend, but imagine what he saw on Diddy's case. The truth, because he has to be honest with his lawyers if they want to save his ass. Imagine what he saw, and he chose not to stay. Versus Osama bin Laden. Crazy. If there was an opening in the Devil's team and the Devil was hiring Diddy, top man. Employee of the month, without a doubt. Now, the plea deal didn't go through as Diddy immediately rejected the plea deal, saying that, he's a swindler, he's not a criminal. Now, Diddy's team also argued he may have lived a swindler's lifestyle, but he's never done anything inappropriate or criminal. Obviously, because he has a mental capacity, according to them. Now, this just came out. They're saying part of Diddy's defense involves his mental capacity to commit the crimes while he was essentially wasted. He even has a doctor lined up to testify, but the feds think it's a totally irrelevant point. Now, I want to say I'm surprised, but I'm not. I knew that there was going to be some sort of mental illness or something involved in this whole situation, and they're going to blame it on that. Oh, I was just a crazy person. Can we, not go to maximum prison and go to a mental health hospital and, live a luxury life over there? But the whole mental capacity thing sounds like a Diddy thing. Like the lawyers, said, no Diddy, but he said, no, let's use this right now. Let's say that it was the fact that I had no understanding of my situations because I was intoxicated or, wasted. How does that even work? If I had to guess, next week, this is how it's going to go in court. So Diddy entered the room intoxicated. He had no idea what was happening. There were two women tied to the bed, and he was like, whoa, what is happening? He was he lacked mental capacity, and he didn't understand the situation. So he entered them. He tripped and he fell inside them without understanding what is happening. And he kept on, stroking while there was, screaming stop. But it was hard for Diddy to understand them since they had like a gag ball or something that was covering their mouth. So Diddy didn't know if he was supposed to stop or not, even though they were crying. And, decided to keep on going. Honestly, it's a mental capacity problem. So this is Diddy's defense. He did not understand anything that he was doing. He was wasted and they were just there. What do you expect? Obviously, you get horny when you're intoxicated. Honestly, valid point. Give the defense attorney a raise in this situation. As a matter of fact, let's free everyone. Whoever did any crime while, being intoxicated, drunk driving, whatever it is, shakalaka boom boom without consent, because they lacked mental capacity. Valid point. I think he's gonna get away with it, honestly. Now, the prosecutors filed their opposition to line of the testimony, and the documents, they say Diddy wants to have the doctor, who's a Colombian professor, to testify that he had a mental condition bearing on the issue of guilt. Now, it gets funnier than that because the doctor and him never met. He just wants to examine him live, but we'll get to that in a sec. Now, according to the documents obtained by TMZ, prosecutors said that the legal precedent, I don't know, if I'm saying this correct or not, requires the defense to give proper notice before offering any evidence of the effects of drugs and alcohol on the defendant's memory or cognitive function. Does it matter? Does it matter for any of the things that he did? You can't just blame alcohol and drugs. Can you actually? I don't know. I'm not a lawyer, but if you are, can you actually blame it on the drugs and say, hey, I unalived this person because I was on drugs? It wasn't my fault. It was actually my body's fault because my mind had nothing to do with it. So if you have to arrest someone, you need to arrest my body. I had no idea this whole thing was taking place. Either way, because I was not in control. Honestly, I think you have a better chance to say if you're, possessed by a demon than saying, blaming the alcohol and the drugs for your actions. I think you have a better chance of, reducing your sentence a little bit if you say you were possessed by a jinni or, demons or evil or whatever the fuck. Now, they're saying even if he was on drugs and he wasn't in control of his actions, prosecutors say the doctor's opinion on whether Diddy was lucid, irrelevant. In the documents, they point out the doctors never personally examined Diddy and his testimony would be based on his experience with other people. Yeah, I think it's best if the prosecutors do not bring this doctor that, Diddy's legal team requested. They need to bring another one. We don't know what's going on behind closed doors with the doctor. But trying to say that he didn't understand the situation is crazy. He was just wasted and things happen for the past 30 years. Anyways, just wanted to share this with you. Book your calendars for next week, May 5th, I believe, because shit is about to go down and it is going to be Diddy after Diddy content. Because I think the whole trial is going to be just a comedy show with the excuses that Diddy's going to force on his legal team, and they are going to absolutely ruin their reputation for defending Diddy in this situation. It's like a big payday retirement type of thing. And they know they're going to lose, but they're trying to just, secure that money, which is understandable. Anyways, just wanted to share this with you. You take it easy. I'll see you in the next one.